Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we want to share an interesting scenario we recently encountered. A few days ago, we are faced with a unique challenge while working on a project involving an AI model designed to extract specific information from lengthy user manuals. You see, these manuals were no ordinary documents. They spanned over 100 pages and contained crucial data that was needed for a litigation case. Initially, when we trained our AI model using sample documents, we had only used the first 10 pages as that seemed sufficient to capture the required data points. However, when we attempted to apply this model to real world examples, we encountered a major obstacle. The documents that arrived from the manufacturer were complete manuals exceeding over 200 pages in length. This posed a significant problem for our AI model. Manually splitting the documents for each use case was out of the question. It would have been impractical and time consuming for the users. To overcome this challenge, we knew we had to find a solution that would enable seamless integration of the AI model while accommodating the lengthy manuals. In this video, we'll walk you through the steps we took to automate the document splitting process. We'll explain how we can use RPA in Power Automate and Acrobat services with Power Automate Premium. But before we jump into the solution, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss on any of our future videos. Now let's get started. So here is our agenda for this video. We'll be demoing the split documents using RPA in Power Automate and using Acrobat services in Power Automate. So in scenario one, what we are going to do is we are going to use RPA. So we are going to have a demo scenario where our document has arrived in an email and it is stored in a particular folder. Okay, RPA retrieves this email, saves the attachment to a local folder on the laptop. RPA uses PDF functionality to split the document and save the extracted document. The second scenario is where we are going to use Acrobat services in Power Automate, where email has arrived in a shared mailbox. Power Automate retrieves the PDF document and extracts the pages. Power Automate stores the extracted document in SharePoint document library. So let's get started with our scenario number one. So here I have opened my Power Automate desktop application, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a new flow. Okay, and I'm going to call this extract PDF pages. I click on create, and once the Power Automate desktop opens, so this is where I'm going to start creating my flow. What I'm going to do is, as I talked about, where we are going to go into Outlook and extract this email from a particular folder. So what I'm going to do is search for an action call in Outlook. So the first step, what I'm going to do is launch Outlook, and this is perfect. And I'm going to name two variables. One is input file path, and I'm going to use the location where I'm going to store this particular file. So here is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to copy this local path, and I already know the file name, what it is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just call the file name, and this is, by the way, a document which I just downloaded from the Microsoft's website. So it is this particular document where it's a Surface user's manual. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract pages 6 through 10. Okay, so all of these pages, the first 5 pages, I'm going to extract it from this particular document. So I'm going to say this is Surface Book. That is how it is going to be saved on my local machine from the Outlook email. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this retrieve email messages from Outlook. And it takes this Outlook instance, which is from the launch Outlook. I'm going to just give this my email address over here. And in the mail folder, I'm going to I've created a mail folder called demo. And I'm just going to say attachments, save these attachments. And I'm going to select where it needs to be saved. And I'm going to save it under Presentation, Power Automate, RPA, PDF. Okay, so that's the first step. So I'm going to now first save my attachment, and let me show you my demo folder real quick. So this is my demo folder where I already have this email in here, which is basically it has an attachment for PDF. It's just taking some time over here. So if you see over here, I have an attachment for Surface Book User Guide English. Okay. So let me close out of this thing. And so once this is done, what I'm going to do is over here now, I'm going to search for PDF services. Okay. So now if you see, there is an action called extract PDF file pages to new PDF document. So I'm going to drag it over here. And I'm going to specify the input file, which was the input file path, and the page selection. I'm going to just as I said, I'm going to get the 6 to 10, and let me save it for just a second. And I'm going to declare one more variable for output file path. Okay. And I'm going to use the same location where I'm going to store this file, and I'm going to call it extracted document.pdf. Make sure that you enter the extension, the .pdf thing, and I click on save, and that's about it. So then I go back over here into this thing, because if you notice there is an error where it says that I need to select the extracted PDF file path. So now I'm going to select the output file path, click on save. And now it gives you an option whether you want to, if the file already exists, what do you want to do? Just add a sequential suffix, override it, or don't override it. I'm just going to go ahead and override it. Right now I do not have anything over there. Now, if you look at the advanced, if your PDF document is password protected, you can specify your password over here, and it will enter the password before extracting the pages. So I click on save, and now if you notice, I do not have any errors, and it says status is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just pull up my File Explorer, and if you see over here right now, I do not have any documents under C:\Presentation, Power Automate, RPA, PDF. So now let me run this thing and let's see what it does now. So if you notice over here, it's doing its stuff, and if you notice that it highlights all of these things, and it's done. So let's go back to my File Explorer, And if you see over here, this is the attachment which came in. It saved this attachment, and it has also created this extracted document. So if I go to this extracted document.pdf, you notice that now this is the original document which had the table of contents and all of that stuff, even the introduction. Now I only have the 5 pages that I have requested. Okay, so it's that easy to extract PDF pages out of a big document. So this is one way of doing it, but in real scenario, can we like depend on the RPA to create it, or we'll have to install this thing on the user's machine to do all of this stuff? So the other option is where we can use Power Automate to do all of this stuff. So let me jump into Power Automate. So what I'm going to do is, here is the scenario. I'm going to send this email to a shared mailbox, and then I'm going to wait for it to run. It will come in, and then it is going to extract the PDF document, and it is going to extract those 5 pages and put it into our SharePoint library, which I have already created over here. The SharePoint library is a demo library over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create an automated cloud flow, and I'm going to just call it extract PDF. And I'm going to search for a trigger called shared mailbox. So I'm going to select when a new email arrives in a shared mailbox. So I click on create. And once this thing is ready, I'll have to specify the mailbox where I'm going to receive this email. So I'm going to just use one of my shared mailbox, demo@wingatesolutions.com. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make sure that it includes attachments. And I'm going to just specify a subject filter of demo. Okay, once this is done, the next step what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in split PDF. And if you notice under Adobe PDF services, there is a split PDF action. So once I capture this, it is asking me for a file name. So what I can do is I can just type in attachment and attachment's name. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it with array of page range, and I'm going to say 6 to 10, the same thing what we did for RPA. And in the file content, I'm going to select the attachments content. If you notice over here, what Power Automate did was that there could be multiple attachments. So it created a loop for me, applied to each loop, and it has put all of the stuff within that loop. But there could be some other documents which we don't really need, like maybe I might have a signature in my email with my photo in it. So I don't want those kind of things to be captured. I want to make sure that it's only a PDF document. So what I can do is I'll just put a condition over here. And I'm going to say that if the attachment name ends with .pdf, then only process this. Okay. And now I'm going to drag this over here. Once this is done, now as I said, I need to copy this file into a SharePoint library so I can read, or I can use my AI model on that SharePoint library to process it. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to search for create file, and I'm going to use the SharePoint create file over here. Once that is done, I'm going to select one of my libraries, which is legal, or not libraries, my site. And the folder path is going to be my demo library. Okay. And in the file name, I'm just going to go with whatever the attachment name was. And in the contents, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do split document file content. So now if you notice, what happens is in this scenario, it creates a new loop. The reason being is in the split PDF, you have some other options called number of pages. What you could do is you could split, say your document has 100 pages and you want to create separate files for each 10 pages. You can click on number of pages and I can say 10 and it will split that many documents and it will create that many documents over here. So, but right now in our scenario, we are just creating array of page range. So it is going to be, this loop will only run once and it will create this document in my document library over here, which is demo library. Okay, so once this is done, I'm done with my Power Automate flow. So let me click on save. In real world scenario, like what we did, what we are trying to do for one of our clients is, after this, we can have our AI extraction model over here, which will run through that PDF document, which is newly generated, and extract the data points that we are looking for. But for this demo, I'm just going to store it into a SharePoint library. So now my thing has been stored. So what I'm going to do is, here is my email, which I had sent. So I'm going to forward this email to my shared mailbox. Okay, and I'm going to remove all of this unwanted stuff. And I'm going to just type in demo@wingamesolutions.com. And I'm just going to remove this wording and just keep it demo. Click on send. And now I'm just going to wait for my flow to run. And after a few minutes, if you notice, now my flow is running. So if I go into my flow right now, in the run mode, you'll see that, okay, it has been successful. So let me go back to my document library and let me refresh this. And if you see over here now, it has created this document. And if I open this document now, you'll notice that it has extracted those 5 pages that we are looking for. Okay, so here it is how it's really simple to create or to extract pages from a large PDF document. One thing which I forgot to mention earlier is, in order to run this PDF services, you have to go to this particular location, PDF Services API, and you have to create new credentials, and it will provide you all the information that is required to set up your Power Automate to work with Acrobat or Adobe PDF Services API. And that's how you, and there are a lot of actions related to Acrobat which you can play around with this particular services. I think there is like a free trial or something with Acrobat which you can utilize it while you're playing with all of these services. So that was how we resolved one of our problems, where we can split those pages real quick before we process the PDF documents through our AI model. So that's it for this particular demo. I hope you liked it. Do subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back with some more videos in the near future. Thank you very much.